What's up? My name is Chad Fopma. I wanted to introduce myself, let you guys know a little bit about me. I'm a husband and a father. I've been internet marketing for the last 10 years and really love it, really enjoy it. Um, so I learned a lot from my parents growing up. They always had an entrepreneurial spirit. I kind of have some funny stories about my past marketing experiences. Start out young. My parents got into MLM. This was all around when I was about 19 years old. I didn't know too much. It was my first MLM experience. And so I got into my parents' downline. It was a juice company. It was a big bottle, but it had really high antioxidant levels, and so that's what they were marketing. I was in college about this time. I was in a public speaking class. We had this class assignment that came up, and as far as I remember, it was supposed to be like business. You're supposed to give a business presentation. So my teenager mind is going wild. I'm in a class with um, a bunch of people my age that were hurting for money, paying their college bills and everything. So I was like, this is great. I'm going to sell my juice. I'm going to get people in my downline, and I'm going to pay for my college. So I'm sitting, I don't know what number I was or anything, but I'm sitting waiting my turn to go up. I was dressed nice, and my classmates were going up and they were doing presentations on how to skateboard. And I'm sweating bullets. I'm going, I should have done skateboarding. I was a skateboarder at the time. A big part of our grade was looking at the audience. And the whole time I'm doing my presentation, I'm sweating, I'm looking down, reading my whole notes. And I didn't once look up at the audience. And I could just hear the kids, and they were kind of talking behind my back. The teacher was muttering under her breath, just going, this is a scam. Like, I just felt bad about it. So I was kind of like, well, that's it. I wasn't in the company too much longer after that. I think about 10 years after this, I started learning about internet marketing. At the time, I was an assistant bakery manager at a local grocery store, and I had been there several years. I was just getting put down, working my butt off, and I just wasn't appreciated. And so, still with the entrepreneurial mindset, I was constantly thinking of ways to get out of there, extra ways to make income. And on my breaks, sometimes I would go down the magazine aisle. The magazine aisle was right there by the bakery. So I'd pick up magazines. I found a magazine with entrepreneurial, side hustles, side gigs. Um, People had information on there on how to start up your own lawn mowing business. It was just a bunch of small ads that had business opportunities on them. So I'm flipping the pages, going through, and I stop. I recognize a face. There's a big picture. It's got a guy, his family. They're sitting in a field, and I'm like, I recognize this guy. And it turns out that this guy I had actually seen at one of the meetings for this juice product. And he was high up in the company, making lots of money. And I had listened to him and his wife talk way back in the day. And so I'm like, okay, I recognize him. What's he got to say? He was big then. Maybe he's big now. So I'm looking through, I'm briefly, I probably had 5 minutes left on my break. So I'm quickly reading. I'm like, screw it. It was an $8 magazine. I'm bringing it home. So bring it home, reading it. He's telling his story. And this guy had been in MLM for years, for decades. And so he's going, one of the biggest issues is people don't like to prospect in these MLM businesses. And he's like, I found a way that you don't have to prospect. And it turned out it was an internet marketing business. I started checking it out, doing my research on it, and eventually joined that company. And that's where I learned the majority of my internet marketing experience. And I learned a lot in that company. It was a great company. I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.